Hi, and welcome back to Discovering DataFlex. Me, Johan Broadfield. I hope you've enjoyed the summer and are fresh and well back in the office and want to learn some more DataFlex. This week, I've got a request from Moazam in one of my previous videos, the upload image and manage files. And I did that in the web, because we're doing web solutions mainly. But Moazam wanted to know how to do a similar thing in Windows. So this video will not cover any web solution. It will be a Windows solution for making an image appear in the screen and how to upload an image or a file for that matter. So let's look at the code. And as you can see, I've created a new project, and in this case, a Windows project that I just called WinDemo. So I've added it here. And then I went into the view report and just created a simple view with a wizard. And it's a simple view with the item data dictionary, and I just added all like that. And then I just switch the name here to default application and then finish. And then I got this item view, and we can press F7. There it is. So we can see the default behavior of this view. And then I added these two elements. And if you look in the component list here, you see the first thing is a BitmapContainer. And you could use that because it will create this nice feature of a bitmap, but it only treats bitmaps. And the second thing you could do is go in and download the graphics library, where you have some more options to include images in your workspace. But that is also a little bit tricky, and I want to go with the simplest solution I can find, and that is to use a web container in Windows. And since that's available in the later versions of DataFlex, I'll just add this C web view to browser. View to browser, so it's in base controls. And what this allows us to do is more or less put any URL or path into this PS location URL, and that HTML content or image will be presented in this this view. So if I now run this application and open the view, you can see that the default view that I've just put here, the image will be loaded here. Of course, there's a lot of things you can do to resize and scale and stuff like that, but it's actually showing the default scaling of the image just with black borders around it. When we have an image, we want to refresh and set the image. But before we do that, there's another thing just for this workspace, because we have done some things in the web. That means that we had to include this cutil package. Otherwise, we got some nasty errors because there were some functions that wasn't found. But apart from that, this is should be straightforward. And now I just copied more or less the code. I switched the item ID out. But this code will go down and check the path that we defined in our web application and see if there is an image. And if there is an image, then it will go down here and set the PS location of our browser to S value, which is the ID or path of the image here. We have this unsplash here, which will just produce a random image if we don't have an image in advance. So otherwise, it's this path plus S file name that will be added. And that'll work just fine. And if we try to see where I added this, we can see that every time we switch an item, I do a on-post find in the data dictionary and just send refresh this web browser. So if I run the application and we go in and view this again, if I go in here and switch, you can see that we get different images depending on the ID of the element, reading it from our folders that we created using the web as well. So now we want to upload a file, and to do that, we add this button that we just call File here. And when you click that button, we get this show dialog of open dialog. And that is just an object that we have down here, open dialog in dialogs. And what this does is it's opening the selection prompt so that you can select a file from the file system. And with that file name, we more or less copy the code from the Windows example, apart from the send register download folder, because we don't need that in a Windows environment. And also this move path to path, because the file name we get back here contains the entire path to the file. And since we just do a copy file, it will copy the file and not the entire path anyway. So we just need the path to where we want to save it. And that will copy the file. And then we refresh the image of the browser object, and we're good to go. And with that, we should be able to go into the item and find an item where we can upload an image. Let's see if we have. Yeah, let's take this one. And I go into File, and I want to upload this butterfly. Now it's updated, and if I go up here again and go back to the view, the new image is the one that is uploaded. So I hope that explanation helped it, and you have the code in the Git repository that I've linked in the description below. And I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. It might not be next week, because I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on making good quality videos from now on, and try to add some more value instead of just making sure that I produce a new video every week. So you'll see me around, perhaps not every week though. Bye-bye.